437 of your favorite podcast at the Phase On View podcast, man. All social media platforms. Make sure you tap in. Recently, bro, that's all I've been seeing is different Mount Rushmores. That's all I've been seeing is different Mount
Rushmores in there to give you the rage bait.
You already know it's the rage bait.
They put one person in there to give you rage bait
every single time, like, bro. It'd be three.
It'd be real ridiculous.
It'd be three that's perfect, and then the fourth one throw you off.
You'd be like, all right, come on.
Throw you off. So the first one I wanted to get to, I want to solidify this right now. The Mount Rushmore for Disney Channel females is Raven, Lindsay Lohan, Miley Cyrus, and Hilary Duff.
Are you Lindsay Lohan?
Lindsay Lohan, bro. What are you talking about?
Lindsay Lohan.
What are you talking about? Lindsay Lohan? Was it Hilary Duff? What was Lindsay Lohan on?
She was just in The Parent Trap. That was it.
The Parent Trap. Who's Lindsay McGuire?
Lindsay McGuire's Hilary Duff.
Hilary Duff. Okay.
That's what you're thinking of.
Yes. No, I say Hilary Duff. So for sure, for the three, for the female Mount Rushmore for Disney, it's Raven,
and
Miley, and Hillary. Whoever else you want to.
I'm throwing Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. Yes,
she was doing numbers on Wednesday.
She could be in there. Movies. A lot of people said Ashley Tisdale. A lot of people said Brenda Song.
Yeah, I'm fine with Selena, but no, the one that threw me off was Zendaya. I love Zendaya, but she's not the Disney Mount Rushmore.
And Freaky Friday, was that Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah, but that wasn't a Disney film, was it?
Yeah, it was a Disney film.
Yeah, she was just in movies, but like the other girls were like in movies and shows.
You know shows too. Like, that's true.
That's why it's hard for me to put her.
I think Raven is bar none. She's number one.
Oh yeah.
Everything else after that.
Raven wasn't just Raven. She was Cheetah Girl.
Facts. Like, and I will say, I will give Miley Cyrus her credit because Hannah Montana was a huge deal back then. And then, like I said, Hilary Duff, Lindsay McGuire was one of my favorite shows.
I hated Lindsay McGuire because my sister always watched it, and we only had one at the time. We only had one TV in the living room. So if I had to, and this is before we had cable, so it's like, if we were at somebody's house and it was her turn to watch, she always threw that on. Or we caught it on a random day, and she watching the TV. I had to sit there and watch it because she got there first.
Bruh, that's back when Prime TV was actually good to watch.
I never fully watched it because I was too busy hating it. Because that's not what I wanted to watch.
My two favorite shows. Well, my three favorite shows was always That's So Raven. That's So Raven, Lindsay McGuire, and Even Stevens. Those three I can always go to and count on as far as TV shows on Disney, bro.
Yeah, but Zendaya is not on there.
And Zendaya, we like Zendaya, but Zendaya, she doesn't have a long enough resume on Disney. And
I'll admit, even like when she was coming on Disney, I had stopped watching Disney.
Yeah, me too.
Even though we're like around the same age, I wasn't watching her show.
I stopped watching Disney before the 2010s.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like I was watching Nickelodeon stuff at the time. They had Victorious and they had iCarly at the time.
Hey, look. As far as
then I started watching reality TV. Freaking Jersey Shore was coming on that time. Yeah, Teen Wolf started coming on, so I started watching other stuff other than Disney.
It's definitely shifted. And if you talk about Nickelodeon, iCarly's definitely in there as well too.
Oh yeah,
she pioneered kind of the streaming space as far as like
that's a fact.
That look.
Yeah, there's always that one rage bait. Everyone was kind of like, y'all gotta get Zendaya.
Yeah, it's sorry Zendaya.
Hilary Duff
is she's a legend, and I only say Lindsay Lohan because I've seen her in a lot of movies. Yeah. Like as far as Disney,
I would have thrown Demi Lovato on there before Zendaya.
Demi Lovato's a good candidate.
Before Zendaya, I would have put Demi Lovato on there.
But Demi or Selena, they credible enough to go up there. They credible enough.
My only gripe was Zendaya. I was like, yo, you gotta throw Hilary Duff on there. You can't sit there and play with Hilary Duff.
And I seen a whole
low key Ashley Tisdale.
Nah, that's what a lot of people were saying. And
because she was on Street Life and she was on, and she was Phineas. She was Candace on Phineas and Ferb. So it's like you got it low key.
She had a little track record.
High School Musical.
Who is Kim Possible's voice?
I don't even remember that. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if she was
I know that was the only thing she did.
Okay, all right.
I can tell you who sung the song, Christina Milian.
Because I'm about to say,
I couldn't tell you that girl's voice.
Teaser too. As far as the horror movie, it's another one. Horror movie character Mount Rushmore.
All that was wrong.
All of that was wrong. If you don't have,
Pinhead is not no damn Mount Rushmore, bro. Nobody was scared of him.
Horror movie character Mount Rushmore. If you don't have Jason in there, if you don't have Chucky in there, Freddy Kruger and Michael Myers, I feel like that's a given. Those were the go-to movies at any given time as far as horror for a long period of time, bro.
I think, because everyone was correcting it, everybody had Ghostface, Freddy, Mike, and Jason.
Nah,
that's what they had.
Chucky, bro. Chucky's too memorable.
I think for our
character.
generation, it was more Ghostface. He had a lot of Scream.
No.
Scream movies was going crazy.
I think
during the 90s.
Ghostface, yes, I get what you're saying. I ain't gonna hold you. I would put Candyman over Ghostface.
I was more scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I was more scared of Chucky than any.
I was more scared of Candyman than any one of them. No, Candyman and Freddy. Because when I seen Freddy movies, I'm like the Dream stuff. That threw me off. I was always most afraid of him.
I was introduced to Chucky young. If I had seen Chucky like now, I'd be like, bro, I don't know what was so scary about this dog.
Beat the hell out of Chucky.
Like, are you kidding me?
Stomp Chucky out, bro. They was letting
small soldiers were scarier than Chucky.
In fact, they were letting Chucky get away with anything, bro.
The small soldiers would have bodied Chucky.
That was my movie too.
Yeah,
bro. That was my movie.
I forgot what they were with the Gorgonites and the freaking and the army. They would have put Chucky in the pack. They were scarier than Chucky. I ain't gonna lie.
Get them up out of here. Recently, hey, this consider a horror movie, but I don't consider a horror movie.
This is like an overall historical doc, a romance, horror / thriller / this was magnum opus, man. I've seen it twice already. Just Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, man, incredible. You want to go first, Michael?
No, you go ahead. It's phenomenal. All I had to say is phenomenal about Sinners.
Listen, I gotta go 12 out of 10. I don't know how you can rate it lower than a 9. For me, because I'm just like, one, it's an original. It's an original screenplay. Like, it's not even a remake. It's an original screenplay. The acting was top tier.
It was.
The cast was top tier. The music was top tier. It's a musical. That's in there too. The music was top tier. The imagery was top tier. The symbolism, the way it was shot, all of it was like above and beyond. I don't know what to say. Let me start with Michael B. Jordan. Actually, wherever you had him, put some respect on his name. It has to go up.
Yep.
If you had him high, it needs to go higher. If you had him low, it needs to go up. I already felt like after Killmonger, it showed his ability as an actor. You know, playing. But some people still felt like he only plays these so-so roles. I'm like, after this, you have to like. There were moments where I felt like I was kind of like, that's really still him. Yeah. There were moments I thought it was two different people. There were moments like that, and I'm like, no, that's really just
that's
him.
So difficult to do, to play your own self.
For me, watching the interviews, and he's just sitting there talking to the two guys. I'm like, I forgot. I'm expecting to see two people sitting there, and it's just him.
That goes to show a phenomenal acting. Like, he put on the clinic, bro, throughout this whole movie. Man, like you said, it was so good. It didn't make you seem like it was just the same person.
Who was who?
You feel me?
Like, it wasn't even just their clothes. Why you could tell who was who. You could tell who was who by their personality, the way they talked, the way they walked, the way they acted. There was just so many the symbolism. Like, you know, for me, what I took away from it was like, you know, when you live a life of sin, nothing good is supposed to come your way. Like, nothing good's coming to your door. Because all of them, like the 7 deadly sins were intertwined with this whole thing. Like, you had the brothers were into, you know, greed and, you know, and pride. They were robbing folks. You got lust with Pearline and Sammy. Pearline was for the streets. She was, first of all the women were fine. Especially the chocolate women. Shout out to them. He top tier cast. But Pearline was for the streets. Mary, I understand. Cheating is still wrong, but I understood her situation way more than Pearline's. Pearline was just for the streets. You got lust going on there. And then you got you know,
it taught you lessons as well too.
It taught you lessons. It's like you got lust, you got greed, you got alcoholism, you got all this stuff, and it's just like, yo, like nothing good is coming to the door. And evil only can get in if you let it in. I thought that was a good thing.
And that's what I love the thing, because at that point when they got to the door, I was just like, they could enter the house at any given point if they wanted to. But it was a messaging in it. And then the messaging of him pointing out Sammy, like, no, we want him. Then talking about like how the music industry works, how like, you know, how predators
both get. So that scene
and how the predator, how basically
future, yo, that was insane.
But I was saying, like, especially with the imagery as far as the white gentleman coming to the door and like the predatory how they do as far as music and try to lure you in. You know what I'm saying? And him picking solely him out of the bunch, it was like it spoke volumes, because okay, I see the talent. Now we're gonna do something with this talent. One thing I did keep seeing as far as like me watching the movie and like relating it back to something is the gentleman who was kind of loosely based off of, and they're speculating it's loosely based off of. It was a 1920s or 1900s jazz singer player who ended up selling his soul, and then got all the glitz and glamour and fame, and he ended up dying at a young age.
Yep.
The
historical accuracy of this film was also incredible because I did not know this much about after the Louisiana Purchase and the Delta of Mississippi, how it was like a melting pot of cultures. I didn't know the Chinese had immigrated there. And they were important because they would sell groceries to the blacks because the whites wouldn't. And so you see that part where the little girl has to go across the street to get the wife. It's like, listen, on this side we got grocery stores for the whites, on this side for the blacks. It was just a melting pot of culture. It was historically accurate. The romance, I love the love that's displayed. Like in the circumstances were trash, but like as far as like what's being shown on screen, the love that's portrayed between the characters. I love seeing that. You've got Smoke and his woman. He accepts Annie for who she is. He doesn't believe in voodoo. He accepts her for who she is. He left because he just could not deal with the pain of the loss of their child. But he came back, and he was able, the way she's able to just say his first name, and he just lets his guard all the way down, takes his hat off, says I love you. He's supposed to be some hard gangster, but when he gets around her, he just lets it all out. Same thing with Stack and Annie. It's like, the reason why I'm able to understand her situation more than Perline's is because, she never thought she'd see him again.
Right.
They were like she wasn't just some floozy he got with. There's legit history there.
There was history.
From them growing up, and they were in love. They were in love with each other, but he knew them being together was dangerous, and he wasn't even worried about him. He was more worried about what's going to happen to her with us being together, and so he pushed her away. They had that night, and he left. And she thought, one day he'd come back, but he didn't. So she moved on with her life. Not what she wanted to do, but she did. And then he just so happened to be at the train station. So all these old feelings come back. I can see it.
And then with the relationships, it showed you also imagery of the black woman with the black male, the black male with the white woman. It showed you, like you just said, different races, different melting pot of everything that's going on. Like that, it was such a dope movie.
Haley Stanfield, I was not familiar with the game. I applaud her. I applaud. I forget her name, but Annie, the woman that played Annie, the woman that played Perline, the woman that played Bo's wife, the Chinese woman. All the women were phenomenal. Every actor stood out. Shout out to my guy Omar, who played Cornbread. Delroy Lindo was the GOAT. Yeah, shout out to Miles. He was incredible. The Irish dude. It was just like the drool part. I ain't gonna lie, it freaked me out. I was like, that was nasty. I don't know how people date actors.
See, now, I don't know how people date actors. What got me about
she was dropping some lines. Now, she had some lines in that movie that makes you like, oh shit.
The only reason I rated a 9 and not a 10 for 10, but I feel like it is a 10 for 10 film. The reason why I said rated a 9, I just didn't like how the vampires was moving, bro. I didn't like how the vampires was moving, like they was jumping and stuff like that, like how it looked. It was like funny to me, but it was still good. I like how they played on the vampire because also that kind of goes into like what I was saying about the music industry. It goes into the entertainment industry as far as like how they're predatory, how they seek for blood. It's really about greed and taking your soul. Yeah. So like how that played on to things as well.
The biggest thing I noticed was the love between Stack and Smoke.
Yes.
The love those two had for each other was unmatched. To the point where Smoke was buried his father over it. Like, all right, you don't beat my brother. This is worse than any beating I've seen you give him. At this point, we just gonna thug this out on our own. They leave together to go be in a war together. They do crime together. They come back. Him when he dies, Smoke goes, the best part about me is him.
Facts.
Stack coming up to the door as a vampire, like, yo, I ain't doing this without you, man. It's like, yo, he means that. Even though his soul's been taken over, he still means that. And you can tell like they were really a family because it's like when he killed Annie, it kind of snapped him and Mary out of it a little bit. Cause they wanted all them to be together. And so like he was just the one guy he could not kill. Like he could not kill Smoke. And I think it's beauty that, in the end, Smoke is able to be with Annie. He knew at the end of it all, he was like, listen, after I deal with these jokers that tried to kill us, I'm willing to just be on the other side with my girl. But Stack gets to be with his girl for eternity as well. So,
question to you, because like this is the vampire thing. Say if you just you the only one, or you're one, or like the love of your, like let's put it like this hypothetically, the love of your life it becomes a vampire. But you, at the end of the day, you're trying to stay alive and not get bit. Do you what do you do in that situation? Because I'm thinking like at that situation, if it's just too much, man, just bite me, bro. I don't even care at this point, bro. I don't it's too much for me to just keep on trying to live and do all this other extra stuff. I only said that because full circle, he still ended up being with her, and he was still technically a vampire. Yeah, because I don't know. I think I have to do what Smoke did, because that's not how you realize that's not the person you love. You realize that's not fully the person you love. Mm-hmm. They're being overtaken by evil spirit, and you want to free that spirit. And also, it's just I don't know if the risk is worth the reward. It's like Smoke said at the end of the movie. He said, "Heck yeah, it's the best day. It was the last time I saw my brother. Mm-hmm. It's the last day I saw my son. If it's just for a few hours, it was free. So you gotta live all these years of watching people die, and you gotta keep biting people's necks and just to survive. You can't see the sun. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know if I would do it. But still, I don't know why did Andy go? Why did Stack send her out there? That was my two biggest things. I was like, Andy, there was zero reason. I understand they were in debt and they needed the money, and she was just trying to, hold it down. But it's just like, one thing I hate about, and then Shorty went out there and crashed out. Why you brought all the vampires in here? One thing I hate about suspenseful and horror movies is just the decision making. I always hold on. First of all, why do y'all have the door? I wouldn't have the door open that long to even welcome any of that energy. When they was walking up, when they came to talk, bro, I was like, you can already sense their energy. They in the middle of nowhere. They're at a predominantly black club or lounge, and they just in the middle of nowhere playing folk tales. Red flag after red flag after red flag. And they had it. They was like, yo, don't let them in. But Annie was like, yo, I can tell y'all need this money. And they did. Because they wasn't making the money they needed to make to keep the club open. And so, I don't know. She was trying to help, but it was just like, gosh. But then Shorty want to crash out and tell them all to come in. I'm like, yo, come on now. They were not going to go get your kid. They had not left the barn. They hadn't left the barn. They were not going to go get your kid. And if you really feel that way, they take your behind out there and kill your husband. Why you invite all of them in here? The decision making towards the end of the movie was just that's what blew me. No, we were not equipped to fight 10 vampires. No. There's 10 of us in there. There's 20 of them. And they can make more of us. More of them. We were not equipped for that. All for you to kill your own husband and die right there. Yeah. You should have just did that. You should have went out there on your own and killed him. That blew me. I was like, but yes. I've seen it twice. I always encourage people to go see it in IMAX, the biggest screen possible. And one thing I will say about Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, man, amazing resume, bro. You got To Fruitvale Station, The Creed 1 and 2, Black Panther 1 and 2, bro. And then now this. Yeah, they only did 5. He didn't do Creed. But that's still amazing resume, and he's really just getting started. I really enjoy Ryan Coogler's interviews and how he talks because he's literally himself. You feel me? He's really West Coast. He's from the Oakland. And it just honestly, it's a lot. It's inspiration in that too. It's inspiration of you can just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And make it. You don't have to conform to any other thing. You can be yourself and make it. And but everything they said about this film was great. Like normally you got films that get hyped, hot reviews, and what the actors say about it. Everything they said about this film and how you feel about this film was correct. This is truly a magnum opus. I feel like they're gonna clean up, in the awards category. Sure. But you know how Hollywood is. But I feel like I don't see how they shouldn't get Best Picture. I don't see how they shouldn't get Best Soundtrack. Mm-hmm. I don't see how Michael B. Jordan doesn't get Best leading role. I don't see how Delroy Lindo doesn't get Best Supporting Role. It's just right now. I really hope they clean sweep. And for another black brother. To another black brother, Jordan Peele, this him trailer right here, bro, and it's very interesting because yes, I can see off the trailer is football, but it's like basically talking about all the ins and outs of football, what goes on in the higher ups, the mental aspect of football, and really like that willing to go do it all on that field, but come back and know that you're not really good, bro. Like, you know how many times that we've been concussed and we got back in the game and just like mentally may have not even been in there. You feel me? Like mentally not even there, but it's like we'll do or die for the game. So I'm excited to see that one, bro, because I feel like that's going to be one of those ones, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of imagery. And honestly, when I see a lot of these type of movies, it's educational. But one thing I always say is truth hidden in plain sight. It's truth and hidden in plain sight in this movie and also all the other movies as well too. Like I said, Ryan Coogler and Jordan Peele, they've created a lane for themselves, bro. So shout out to them.
If you haven't seen Sinners, man, go see that joint. Go see it in IMAX. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, man. That was
shout
incredible.
out to him, man.
I've always been a fan, but like, yeah.
Woo.
Shout out to him. Like, shout out to people believing in you because Ryan was the guy that believed in him as a movie star.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
And really did that for him. So shout out to that.
And then, man, Lord have mercy. You talking about something that's been going on, an ordeal as far as the situation. Shannon Sharpe recently sued for $50 million over alleged SA charges. Comes right after this $100 million deal being rumored. And come on, we see this so many times, bro. We see this so many times. We see it often.
Got Tony Busby's name on it.
And as soon as I heard his name, I already knew.
I was like,
but for this particular situation. And I'm looking at all the details. I've seen all the texts. I've seen Unc come out and speak. I've seen the young lady come out and speak. I will say both sides are wrong. And I will say this for the young lady. Of course, look, it's a problem right now, and it's become a very big problem in today's world about women being predators and honestly preying upon rich men. You feel me? But also you have the other side of things is where you have these rich people at the end of the day enabling a certain behavior because I seen text messages. She talking about some $25K per cheat. And it's like, I'm not trying to be funny, but you see red flags in the conversations, then why would you even move forward with that? And also, let it be known her age, yes, that is alarming. That's one of the things that is very alarming within this situation. But that's why I say with Unc, it's like read the room and understand how, understand your status and understand how this can backfire on you in any given second, in any given moment. I stand with Unc in this for sure because you can see from afar this is a shakedown.
Yeah,
how she was talking in the text, how she was wording things.
Nothing made sense.
Nothing made sense. And honestly,
like, why are you following somebody I was mad at Unc that sexually assaulted you.
I was mad at Unc because it's like, in a sense,
why are you in this?
You kind of let her line you up in a way. You feel me? Like, and then no, and let's call a spade a spade. Her profession is OnlyFans. So right off the bat, you already know what her intention is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she's there for that buck. She's there for that money, regardless of anything. So with that being said already, you already knew that she was going to come after that bread.
And Unc is too old for those type of shenanigans, bro. Like, you 54 and you 19 dealing with this.
And he's too successful right now. But
he's too successful.
Look how we look. And look, Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer, like one of the legends of football. Like it's one of the best tight ends of all time. But this newfound fame and the space he's in the media, like you're being seen more than ever. You're successful. You have an own brand, and you have people under that brand. Like you have the podcast with Bubba Dub out. You have the podcast with Jeff Teague. He has a lot of people under his umbrella. As far as his media company. Yeah. So it's like you have so much at stake. Just being smart and being aware. I seen a lot of like black women when things happen of this nature, like with the white women, like black women, like I'm gonna mind my business. In this particular situation, I completely understand. I'm gonna mind my business because it has been a problem with these type of situations happening, and we see it so often, but a lot of people go back into these situations. And I don't want to just put it on race, but we see a lot of these situations where the black male is either manipulated or got his nose running up in some tail and not even understanding the consequences and repercussions.
It's just nasty. And it's just nasty. First, like you said, I stand. This is clearly a shakedown, but it's just like you don't, even if it is a shakedown, you don't want all of these personal things put into the light about you stuff like that. So that's what makes it look. That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for a court of public opinion will ruin you and force you to da. You just got to stand. You got to stand firm in that, and just you got to fight through that. So he'll have to fight. It's going to be ugly for a little minute, but he'll get through it. Once there's no case. Once you see this, the lack of evidence proves everything, and there's really even with this audio and stuff like that, the lack of evidence is a lack of evidence, and it's credibility is key. Like Tony Busby does not have any credibility. He's on the tail end of a failed shakedown with another high profile celebrity who's currently suing him. I think another one of his clients is suing him for something. So like credibility is key.
And these situations are terrible because you do have real victims out here that are going through real things.
No one has time for this, man.
You can see the writing. You can see the writing on the wall, especially in the messages. So you were assaulted by him in 2024, and you ended up going back with him in 2025. That right there, it doesn't make sense in itself.
Tony Busby out here trying to sue Drewski.
You feel me?
For rape. And Drewski just put his statements up.
And he was like, bro, I wasn't even.
He was broke as I
wasn't even on the scene in 2018.
I wasn't even nobody in 2018. Nobody was checking for me.
And one thing I see that Shannon took out of Jay-Z book is responding fast and also, personally fast responding and personally. It's not like a PR driven thing. It's personally. No, this you coming after me? Let's get it started. I'm suing you for defamation. Let's do this.
Fight it up front.
You feel me?
So let's do this then.
I get that and I understand that. And
more people are playing stupid games than winning stupid prizes.
What?
Freaking Demar Derozen.
Oh my goodness.
That dude is an idiot.
Come on now.
He's just looking for money too. He didn't need to be
do anything for clout, bro. What do you think is going to happen? He knew what was going to happen. And no, he did know what was going to happen. And that's one of the things that's such a clown thing in this era is like, let me try to find the lawsuit.
People minding their business, eating their food.
He should have flipped you on your daggone head. You a grown man with your feet in the air. That even look crazy, bro.
Right,
come on,
you gonna
bro.
walk up to that grown man while he eating and put a phone in his come on, yo.
And then,
come on, man.
And it blows me because, like you just said, he has the public opinion. He can have the public opinion on his side because you do have a video. You do have the video evidence. Now he actually has a case. It's nasty, bro.
I was trying to figure out when I first saw the video. I was trying to figure out how do y'all know that's Demar? It was so dark. Everyone kept saying Demar Derozen. I was like, how do y'all know this?
Yeah, until I seen the other when he got in his face.
I was like, why does everybody just keep assuming this is Demar? Then they said it happened because he missed a parlay. I'm like, how do y'all have this information through this dark shady video?
Hey, bro.
I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
The internet. If it's a video to surface, a picture. Boy, trust me, the investigation will get going as soon as it happens, bro.
There's another angle. I promise you, whatever angle you got, someone got the different
somebody
angle.
Got a different
promise you,
angle.
somebody was there 20 seconds before you started filming.
Because instantly, after I seen that video, like I seen the widescreen video, I didn't see no faces. I seen the next moment with the video, he had it all in his face,
I'm
bro.
like, oh, see, you deserve to get your behind.
Regardless of anything,
deserve to get
respect people's personal space. Celebrities are still human beings, bro. They're still human beings, bro.
Grabbed your phone out your hand, threw it across the room.
Stop trying people,
Stop
bro.
playing with me.
Stop trying people. You like you just said. You play stupid games.
You gonna win stupid prizes, bro.
It is simple. As simple as that. Each and every time.
They just fined Ant $50,000 for saying what he said to that fan. I was like, I don't like that because the fan out there heckling, talking crazy about him. When I say something back, I got to pay $50,000, even if it was whatever. Like he talking trash, I'm talking trash. Why he allowed to say whatever he want?
Bring back the authentic. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring the authentic era needs to come back, bro. That's why I feel like.
That. Speaking of the NBA,
let's see. Oh, I mean, hey, look, the NBA been saving Ja Morant since 2021.
I don't know why. You think he do something? You think he start winning more or something like that?
Grizzlies
like for all they're saying, do something with your life.
Grizzlies getting stomped on this playoffs. Lord have mercy. They ain't
Did you
no
see Justin Blackman?
No, what happened?
You ain't see that, bro? I was like, yo, that was so sad.
That name's sad for me. I don't even know.
Exactly. Justin Blackman. Remember,
the wide receiver?
Yes. So he recently got arrested. I'm like, fool, I can't believe that's him. I'm like, bro.
You talking about as far as like how his career changed or like?
No, he got arrested recently. He got arrested. That's what did his career, and it's just like you can tell he never stopped spiraling.
It's like sad stories like that, like even like Delonte West, like that always gets me every single time. Like I see a report about him or stuff like that, bro. Life is real, bro. Life is real, and it can. Hey, look.
Public intoxication. He's just out. He's just walking around drunk.
Life can hit.
He ain't cutting his hair.
Life can hit
like
anybody.
He just gave up on life.
Life can hit anybody. Man. That's the real thing. Life can hit anybody.
That's a fact,
this June 6th, the GOAT is dropping. The GOAT is dropping. We got the cover art now. I feel like every time it's a cover art with the baby on it, Wayne about to do numbers. He about to go crazy. I'm very interested in what this album is going to sound like. I really want the more. I want the mature. Of course, I want the bars. The bars is always gonna be there with Wayne. That's not even.
I want the name of the album changed.
But I want the content to be there. I think this is gonna be fire.
I want the name of the album changed.
You've been saying that it's a certain expectation.
Yeah,
but this is Wayne.
I don't think you make that kind of music anymore.
This is Wayne though, bro.
But I saw the feature list. Like there's nothing here that's giving me confidence.
I think Carter 5 was still a very good album, and it didn't have the most notable features. The reason why I said that about even Carter 6 is that what Carter 5 had was a lot of deep content. From Open Letter to Can't Be Broken to Dedicate.
Carter 5 had Mona Lisa.
Like fire.
I'm looking at this feature list. I'm like, I'm not looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to any Wayne project.
Oh yeah, of course. I know how you feel. And Wayne's one of my top of favorites. Of course, I'm gonna listen to it. But I'm just like, when you call it the Carter, and my brain automatically now has to like compare this to the Carter.
I see what you're saying.
That's why I'm like, can you name this something else? Because as a fan, I'm gonna play it regardless. But the fan in me is like, now I gotta be like, is it here or here? Like that's my issue. I'm like, call this something else, please.
But that's what we got.
I don't like it. I'm gonna be very.
We gotta stop doing that too, though. Like, as the fans and consumers, it's kind of like we're being a little bit greedy and selfish in a way because we don't have to compare with the other Carters. But like you said,
but once you do that, when you talk about the series, when you talk about album series. Mm-hmm. You gotta put this series up. You gotta talk about the series in its totality.
Like you naturally do it.
Yeah, you can't just stop at the 3 and then leave, or the 4th and leave it there. You gotta talk about its totality. So that's the double. Hey, you got your Pyrex ready?
What?
That boy Jeezy going on tour. It's time to get back in the kitchen. It's time to be drug dealers again.
That Jeezy.
But he's touring the first album.
Jeezy had a time.
I will be there. I'm gonna find tickets August.
Does Jeezy go up on the ATL Mount Rushmore?
1000%.
Who do you take off? Because you have to have Future. You have to have no. Oh, don't do this. You not taking Future off no ATL Mount Rushmore.
Because you can't have it with just Andre on there. So you have to put Big Boy up there. That's 2 right there.
Well, you say I would say honestly, I'll give Outkast their own slot, but you saying this too. I would give them their own slot.
All right, so they won. I have
Gucci has to be
up
there.
I'm sorry.
So for me is Outkast, Gucci, T.I., and Future. For me
is Outkast, Jeezy, T.I., and Ludacris. That's
okay, and that's good too. I feel like what Future has done, bro. I feel like as far as accolades, he's achieved more than all of them up there. He really has, bro.
Not my guy.
He really has. He really has. Nah. We can go. I mean, honestly, we can look at the numbers, and
you will be very sad.
I mean, we can look at the numbers, and honestly, you saying Outkast, and like we said, we're gonna put them as 2, but it is a group, so it is a group versus 1. But guess what?
Sold more records than all of them.
I don't know that to be true, bro. I don't know that to be true with Future. And I know Future is also in the streaming era, but he also had real sales and stuff like that too. And we talking about Future's catalog, bro. I mean, honestly, bro, he kicking doors down on a lot of them, bro. On a lot of them, bro. And you know that too. It's like
what Joe and them said. If you don't get Ludacris, you don't get a lot of the guys in Atlanta.
It's true. You don't have, if you do Outkast, Crime Mob, you like who? We can go down the whole list.
I'm talking about from that 2000 day. Because they only had Outkast. And in the year 2000, when Ludacris kicked that door in, it's like all these other Atlanta artists started coming in after he was doing numbers. Like T.I. showed up, Jeezy showed up,
definitely
Crime
shout out
Mob
to
showed up. Freaking Future, like all these Lil Jon and all these guys started just coming after he freaking kicked his door in. He did kick the door down this,
and Luda deserves his respect.
Yeah, I always capable.
And I like that you have him up there.
And I'm not mad at anyone that has Future in the Mount Rushmore.
But you're not about to put Jeezy over Future. I know that for sure. You're not putting Jeezy over Future.
Why not?
You're not. And me personally, knowing you don't listen to more Jeezy in the Future, bro.
I listen to Jeezy every morning.
You do not listen to more Jeezy than Future, bro.
I listen to Jeezy every morning. Jeezy make you want to go get money. Yes, I do.
Bro, what was you listening to during Dirty Sprite, Hendrix, Beast Mode, 56 Nights?
Well, first of all, you know I wasn't a huge Future fan at
Monster,
that time. You knew I wasn't a huge Future guy then.
Still was listening to it, and you know how big Future was then.
Yeah.
Even now, bro, he's still relevant now.
Of course.
So you gotta play that into account too. Is that the fact Future got better mixtapes than Jeezy too?
I don't know. That might not be a conversation that for us to have. That might be a conversation for the South to have.
No.
You gotta remember the gangster. Listen. No. The Gangsta Grill Jeezy, they were so good. The freaking fans rated DJ Drama and threw him in jail.
Chopper Die is a cult classic. It does not compare to no daggone 56 Nights, wasn't just the Monster, or Beast Mode.
It wasn't just the Chopper Dies.
No, bro. He has a lot. Chopper Dies is cult classic.
That's one of them. That's
the one that you're going to put up there over every
mixtape.
You said mixtapes, so I'm sticking with mixtapes. He does not have a better mixtapes than Future. No, absolutely not.
Listen, man, the fans kicked Drama Dorian off of Jeezy tapes.
Oh my gosh,
they kicked Drama. We used to get in trouble for the Snowman T-shirt.
That can be true, and you are right. It is true. And it's a certain time for it. I can say the same about Gucci during that time because Gucci was. Don't even get me started with Gucci mixtapes. Gucci was that. Even with, like you said, we still going down the south. T.I. and Wayne.
Maybe I'm just biased. I've always been more of a Jeezy guy because the stuff he said, like he wasn't a better lyricist than those guys, but like he said better stuff than them. Like Jeezy made you want to go get money. That's why I listen to it every morning. Like Jeezy music makes you want to get up and go get money. I'm in the gym. I'm cranking
like
Jeezy.
But I just can't. Like, I just can't put him before Future on the Atlanta. But I can't do it. I can't do it. But I mean, it's preference. It
is.
Wallo just had a speaking arrangement. And Wallo is of course be going around with his motivational speeches. Wallo makes a statement on black-owned businesses. Is he right or wrong in his statement? So what Wallo is basically saying, bro, is that just because you have a black-owned business doesn't mean that we solely have to support it.
Oh yeah,
it needs to be a good business as well too, and a good company.
It needs to be good, credible.
One thing
reliable.
I feel like we do a lot nowadays because we want to push black excellence, and we should do that. But I think when we push that and we say that, it like expectation is not met. You get what I'm saying? Like we say black owned business, that doesn't mean okay, I just solely have to support you because of black owned business. No, I need this service to be up to par, good, just like any other service. You know what I'm saying?
It's gotta be good service.
Like I think that's very important. And not just overcharging just because, okay, well, I have a black business you should support. No, with this business, it comes with things. It comes with everything. I need the full package as well, too. Yes, I can support you, but also, am I getting the bang for my buck as well, too? So what Wallo was saying is like, I understand that a lot of people found it like, you know, it ruffled a lot of feathers because of how he was saying it and the tone and tonality. But as a person of Wallo's ilk, who's actually supporting giving back, I feel like he has every right to say that because he's seen probably so many different black owned businesses support me, do this and that, and they don't have their stuff together logistically as a company.
Stuff don't even be good. I be feeling that way about like certain food spots, black owned food spots, and the price of the plates be ridiculous. But I'm like, this plate better be fine. If it's not, like I'm not giving you $25 for this plate. So like I it's not much for me to say here. I'm 100% agree. It's like, you know, a business is a business. Yes, you want to support black businesses, but it needs to be worth it. Like you want good service, you want good customer service, you want good quality product, you want something that's credible. You know, people that respond well and communicate. You don't want nothing janky. And just because you're black does not mean I'm gonna give you my money and be okay with janky service. No, because it's like I can go get something better for over there. It's like, it's your money. You gotta be careful what you do with it. You can't just give it to any and anybody. And once you give it out, you don't necessarily always get it back. So you always want to make sure that the job is done right, or whatever it is you need is going to be worth the amount of dollars you pay for it. So that's what black folks should be focused on. If you have a black owned business, focus on making sure that your business is worth people paying for. And then you never have to worry about this. So people will want to support you, not only because you're black, but because your business is legit and it's really good.
Absolutely.
The fact that it's black will be just the icing on the cake.
Right. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Hey man, they got at me after last week. I don't care.
Who?
My hot take still stand. I don't care, bro.
Oh yeah, you were not eating French toast. You almost got me hurt.
The Jordan conversation. I'm surprised a lot of people agree with me on that. The French toast people were saying I'm wild.
Yes, you are wild. Okay.
I stand on what I stand on. Do you have a hot take today?
Oh, Dang, I should have thought.
I think
but
I did
see I did see the other thing that's going viral. Can you man versus a dog? I'm not losing to a dog. No dog is killing me, bro. No dog is killing me. I'm telling you. I don't care if it's a Kango, a Caucasian Mastiff. I'm not dying to a dog. Like, it's a dog.
So this leads me to a conversation.
And then there's the other one.
This leads me to a conversation of the male ego. Why do specifically us, I would say black males or just males in general, we feel like we can beat everybody up?
No, I don't think I can beat everybody up. I said I'm not losing to a dog.
Now look. I'm just adding it to a conversation because I'm not going to lie to you. This is still an animal.
It is.
We talking about a German Shepherd.
I own a German Shepherd. I'm not losing to a dog.
And I would be confident in my abilities, but I don't know.
It's you versus him. I'm not. No. I'm not. I believe you're not. I promise you, a dog is not killing you. I promise you, it's not.
I'm not saying.
Not a wolf. A dog.
I'm not saying yes, no. Because I don't know the context of it and what type of dog. Because I seen some ruthless dogs that I would never. Look here, I ain't gonna lie to you. You about to laugh. A cat gave me a run for my money. Boy, my Uncle Cat, bro, attacked me so crazy, bro. My life was on the line. Like a cat.
I promise you, if you were locked in the room and it was you with the dog, I promise you.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying because look here, it's either me or the dog.
You would choke the heck out of that dog.
But look here, nah. Like, I don't think that's
my male ego does not think I can beat anything. Because this dude on TikTok was like, there's a list of animals that I think I can thrash. He said, number one, chimpanzee. I said, stop. Nope.
Right there. He already out.
I said, stop. See? So my male ego is not it. The chimpanzee will rip your arm off and beat you in the head with it. Literally.
Instantly.
You do not.
You don't stand no chance.
You do not want those problems.
No problem.
I do not think I can beat. No. I don't know why he started his video with that. Heck no. The other one was 100 men versus a gorilla. I'm not gonna lie. I did think 100 of us could take a gorilla. 100. But then when I read the facts, there's like they can bend iron bars. I was like, yeah. I was like, nah.
We don't stand a chance.
We need at least 100. We need at least 150.
Like realistically, we don't stand a chance.
We need at least 150, 200.
That's why we all
have to attack at the same time.
I be laughing. I ain't gonna hold you. I be laughing at myself too. Sometimes in movies, it's be certain situations, but I be like, bro, I would have did this. You know what I'm saying? If I was in this situation, I'd have did this. In hindsight, bro, it may not have gone like that, bro. A lot of people will freeze up in these certain type of moments. Yeah. I've been in some crazy moments, bro. But it's been a time where I froze up. So I'm like, nah, it depends on the situation.
It always depends. But I don't think 100 of us could take a gorilla. I think we need at least 150. And we all have to attack simultaneously. Like, we have to surround it on all ends of the attack. 100 of us, he getting us out of there. Not enough numbers.
One food hot take before we get out of here. I heard a conversation about Pop-Tarts and everybody's favorite Pop-Tarts. I'm here to let y'all know brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart is the best Pop-Tart. I don't know what we talking about.
Brown sugar cinnamon.
I don't know what we talking about. For your strawberry fans,
that's not my favorite Pop-Tart, but I will say that brown sugar cinnamon is top tier. Strawberry is top tier. Don't get it twisted.
It is up there.
Wild berry is up there, but my personal favorite is cookies and cream. That's just.
It's a Pop-Tart.
The Oreo joint. Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
My personal favorite.
But Pop-Tarts, brown sugar cinnamon, each and every day, all day, and just for y'all, we've discussed it before. But I'll bring it back up again. Grits ain't grits if it don't got sugar on it. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that.
It's time to go cream of wheat.
Go
eat some cream of wheat.
Grits ain't grits without sugar.
Go eat cream of wheat. That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's just, yes, it is. If you put sugar on grits, it's cream of wheat. You might as well eat cream of wheat.
First of all, grits is a thicker matter than cream of wheat.
I'm saying, once cream of wheat is down, it's basically cream of wheat. You might as well go eat that.
And I'll say this before we go. Any of y'all that eat sloppy Joe, y'all are serial killers and don't come around me.
What? You didn't grow up eating sloppy Joes?
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. Sloppy Joe's is trash.
All right, it's time to go. Let's wrap this up.
Trash.
Y'all have a good one.
In the words of Bubba
Dub, next week. I don't know.
Sloppy
I don't
Joe
know after this because I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Guess what? Any of y'all mayonnaise fans, y'all is nasty.
Why you hating on mayonnaise?
Trash.
Your sandwiches be dry. You be having dry sandwiches. What you put on a sandwich then?
I put mustard on the sandwich before I put mayonnaise on the sandwich.
Alright, see.
Trash.
I'm not putting mustard on every kind of sandwich. Like, no.
Make sure y'all tap in every single week to the Phase on View podcast. Much love. Episode 337. We out. Yes, sir.